on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee. Score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. By University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Well, how does 8 in a row and 14 out of the last 15 sound after impressive wins against Maryland and Penn State last week? Now, Hawkeyes stand at 19-4, 11-1 in conference play, up to number 5 in the country in the latest AP poll that came out earlier today. And then no surprise here, but we want to make sure we talk about it anyway. Caitlin Clark was named Big Ten Player of the Week. Only 42 points against the Terrapins in that 96-82 win, and registered her 9th triple-double of her career against Penn State. And the Hawks won that one 95-51 as she had 23, 14 assists, and 10 boards. And it's her 17th weekly award from the Big Ten Conference, which is tied for 3rd most in conference history, and not done yet. And Coach, here we are on a Monday evening. Great crowd at Bumps, talking about a couple more big-time victories last week.
It was a good week. It was a good week for us. You know, getting Maryland at home was really good. Now, that was really important because we have to go back to their place. And we know it's not an easy place to play. In fact, we have never won at Maryland since they've joined the Big Ten. So it's been a difficult place for us, but maybe this is the year. So we had a really nice game against Maryland, and then obviously played very, very well over at Penn State. You know, and that's a game you're kind of worried about a letdown. You know, it's in between Maryland and Indiana sandwiched in there. We beat them by 41 on our court. So the players kind of have that in the back of their minds. And you know, we had some travel difficulties getting over there, some delays. You know, I think that might have been good for us. It sounds counterintuitive, but it really, you know,
certainly didn't hurt you.
It didn't hurt us, and we got in about 10 o'clock, I think, to the hotel, had dinner. It's kind of weird looking at salmon and spaghetti and meatballs at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know.
You're not doing that every night of the week?
No, it didn't look real good to me. But the players, I think, still indulged in that. But, yeah, we weren't there even 20 hours at Penn State, but we got up early. We did not have a shoot-around that day, so another thing that was kind of different for us, and yet it really, I think, locked them in. It was like, oh, wow, we've had all these weird things happening. We really have to lock in, and they did. They came out and really dominated.
Yeah, because you're right. I suppose as a head coach, you always get a little bit nervous when the routine is shaken up a little bit, but, boy, this group just seems to, hey, whatever you throw at them, hey, we'll just put it in the rearview mirror and go do our thing. And just a terrific start in both of those games.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, that Maryland game, I think that first half was as good as I've seen against a really top opponent. And, you know, coming up, you have an 18-point lead at halftime on Maryland, who's ranked 8th in the country. Right. That's not bad. But we got him a couple of them into foul trouble, which didn't hurt us for sure. And then we did a really good job, 27 assists on 37 baskets. That's good to see. We shot the ball extremely well, 62% from the field, 33% from three. The only place we didn't shoot well was the free throw line. We didn't shoot well there, but our three-point defense was very good. We held them to 11%, 2 for 18 on three-point defense, and that was one of our keys, and we were really happy to see the players respond like that.
And you always want to get off to a great start, but with that terrific crowd on Thursday night, to get them into it right away, just I think rattled Maryland a little bit.
And they were into 11,000 coming out on a weeknight, so appreciative of that. our crowds have been fabulous all year. We're ranked second in the country in attendance at 10,800 is our average. We had just that same number against Maryland. Our game against Indiana, the last game of the year, is already sold out. But we have 2 more home games. We play Rutgers this weekend on Sunday, and then we play Wisconsin, host Wisconsin as well on a weeknight. So 2 more other opportunities. If you don't have tickets to the Indiana game, 2 more other opportunities to see this team in action.
That's hard to believe.
Oh, three down to. We're down to 6 games. 3 on the road, 3 at home.
Well, it's February basketball for sure. And you just go back to that the Maryland game. You talked about the start, and really I thought took Diamond Miller out of it a little bit early. She did get into some foul trouble, such an explosive player.
Yeah.
And ended up getting her points, mostly at the free throw line.
Yes.
But couldn't play a lot of minutes in the first and second quarters.
Right, and that really did, obviously bother him. She ended up playing 32 minutes, which is quite a bit, actually. But you're right, she got to the free throw line, 11 for 15 from the free throw line. She did a great job with that. But, again, I just was really – Caitlin Clark has a triple-double against a top 10 team in the country. That's really unheard of. 42 points.
Only 19 shots.
Oh, I guess she didn't have a triple-double. I'm sorry. That was the next day. I'm sorry.
Sunday,
She had 8 assists, 7 rebounds.
She flirted with it, though.
But 42 points. She's flirted with that triple-double a lot of times. There's twice this year she's been 1 assist short and 1 rebound short. But my mistake. She didn't do it against Maryland, but she did have 42, so not bad.
Yeah, on 13 of 19 from the floor. A lot of times when you see 42-point performances, 45-point performances, it'll take 25 or more shots, but just so efficient, and then 6 out of 11 from three-point range, and then obviously knocked down her free throws. Yeah,
she's such a good free throw shooter, but her adjusted field goal percentage shooting, 84%. Monica shot 78%. This is like her 7th game in a row that she has shot over 70% from the field. That is amazing. She was 14 for 18 this game, had 28 points. I thought our team did a great job with that because they were going to front Monica. They were not going to let her get the ball. And we did such a great job of driving and dishing to her when the help defense came. And she just had some really nice looks at the basket. So that was really fun to see. In fact, those 2 players, they were 27 out of 37 for the field, 73% shooting. It's incredible. And I really believe that they are the best point guard center duo in the country. I mean, they just have a great connection, and both are such amazing offensive players. And then again, 27 assists on 37 baskets is really fun to see.
That lob pass, it just is to perfection by basically all your perimeter players. I mean, they just put that in a perfect place where Monica can go get it. And a lot of times with that help side defense coming over, maybe just a tad late, it doesn't even matter.
Right. And, we work hard at passing, and Monica's really good at holding a seal. She's exceptional she's strong. I don't know if you saw yesterday in the locker room, but when they got to know that they got to have ice cream after the game,
she was pretty
excited.
Monica
picked me up like a rag doll, and I'm not.
I was worried for you.
I'm not a little lady, so I mean, that girl's strong, and that for her to be able to hold those seals, to embrace all that contact, and then her hands are so good. And so, if we put it up in the area, she's going to catch it. Yeah,
I'm not sure I've seen that group that excited this year.
Ice cream. Who would think? The Penn State Creamery.
They wanted it.
They were pretty excited about it. They did.
And the head coach couldn't say no to that.
You could not. You could not. Not after that game.
Nope, that's for sure. That was a fun afternoon. The weather was nice, so it was kind of a nice day for ice cream, too.
It was a good day, yes.
Was a transition, you talk about another great start on the road, and like you said, Coach, a little bit concerned about this game and sandwiched in between 2 big-time games. But 19-9, and I thought Kate Martin got you off to a great start.
Yeah, Kate is oftentimes the unsung hero, but her adjusted field goal percentage, 90% yesterday. She's 4 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from three-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 for 2 from the three, excuse me. Just had and defended so well. In fact, we also kind of name a defensive player after the game. And today, I really struggled with it. I gave it to 3 people. I gave it to Gabby, I gave it to Sid, and I gave it to Kate because I thought all 3 were really, really good in this game. But we had a lot of really good shooting performances. As a team, we shot 60%, 37% from 3. But McKenna played well. 1 point away from double figures at 9. McKenna, Monica, again, 7 for 10, typical 70%. Kate, as we talked about, Caitlin shot an adjusted 59%, had the triple-double, 23 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds. Gabby Marshall was 1 for 2 from 3. Molly Davis was 2 for 3 and perfect from the line. Hannah Stolke was 4 for 5. In fact, I loved our bench points. Our bench points, we outscored them 35-8. From the bench. Taylor McCabe has 6 points. She's 2 for 4 from 3. Addie O'Grady has 4. Shatia has 3. AJ Ediger has 4. So it's just fun to see, Sharon Goodman had a basket, and nice to see all those players get out there, that everybody got to play. And, if you've seen our uniforms, we have names on the back, not our own name, but a name of somebody that they're playing for that is either survived or maybe not survived from breast cancer or some kind of cancer. And so our pink uniforms are really special to us because we're not playing for ourselves. We're always playing for Iowa. But we're playing for that name on the back, too, and it makes it even more special when everybody can get out on the game so that everybody has a chance to see that name on the back of their jersey.
Yeah, that's a good point. You brought it up in your post-game comments as well.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody was able to do that. And then Jada Gyamfi got in and was able to get 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And then, Sydney Fulter, I thought, didn't score, but 7 boards.
Yeah.
Boy,
she
terrific.
And 3 assists, too.
Yes.
And a steal. And a block shot. So, she did some really good things for us. And, again, sometimes it's not always shows up in the stat sheet, but it's other things that those guys are doing. And that, Kate Martin is a master of that. She's a master of, it's not about my points. It's just about this team winning, and I'll do whatever it takes in order for that to happen.
Yeah, Kate had 8 boards as well to go along with her 11 points, but she had 7 of the first 9 points of the ball game, and just really, I thought, got things going at both ends of the floor just with her aggressiveness and ability to move.
I agree. And very fun.
Yeah, and then you talk about Gabby Marshall again, McKenna Marissa, who averaging over 18 points a game this year, 1 for 10 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3, didn't get into double figures.
Yeah, we held her to 5 points the last time that we played against her, and that was her season low. But this has got to maybe be her second season low. I'm not sure, but it might be 9 points. And really, she scored from the free throw line where she was 7 for 10. Like you said, only scored 1 basket, and that was Gabby's defensive assignment, and she did a great job. 51-24 on the glass. This is becoming an outstanding rebounding team. Well, this is my theory on it, and they only got 4 offensive rebounds, 1 in the whole second half. They got 8% of the available offensive rebounds. I really think people are so worried about our transition offense that they're not crashing anymore, and that helps our defense, right? If you don't have, if it's 1 shot and that's it, that helps a lot. And so I think people are really worried about getting back in transition, and so they're not crashing, and it's allowing us to really, really control the defensive boards. 43 defensive rebounds that we had to their 4 offensive rebounds. That's an amazing number.
And with that in mind, still obviously running the fast break pretty nicely. Being
able to push it. Yes. I thought we had some great opportunities in fast break yesterday. We outscored them 28-13 in transition points. It's just kind of, there was some really pretty passes out there. There were some really pretty passes. Behind the back, Caitlin, out in front to Hannah Stolke running the floor. There was just some really, really pretty things. And today we had 2 unbelievable. Caitlin had 2 unbelievable passes. One behind the back again today in practice, and another one that was just unbelievable on the dime. It's so much fun to see. And I really think Caitlin is playing her best basketball right now. I really do. I think she is just she's a different level. There's a different level of confidence in her, a different level of composure. when she's got a triple-double, that is this ties for second in women's basketball history. I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, that's a lot of players. A lot of players.
Women's, not Iowa women's NCAA women's basketball history. She's tied, and she still has a year and a month to go. So she could do some damage on that.
And there's been some great players that maybe once or twice in their careers would get a triple-double. And now, basically every game, if she doesn't get it, you're looking for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting pretty close.
It's pretty close. Exactly. It's pretty close. So.
And going back to that behind-the-back pass, which was just a thing of beauty, to go back and look at it on the replay, the ball handling was just so smooth. And it just dropped it right to McKenna Warnock. Live, it looked great.
Yeah.
But to go back and look at it again, which you've obviously done several times, I mean, just the shift from the left hand to the right hand behind the back. Smooth.
Her ball control, Caitlin, is just absolutely incredible. It really is. I mean, it's special. It really is. I know, I'm in the era of Pistol Pete. I don't know, are you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're aging ourselves here.
Well, that's all right. He could play, and he could pass.
He could pass, yeah.
But then the down court as well. I mean, there's an art to that, too, because, one, you got to have the players to be able to catch it, but to put it right where they're in stride going to go up.
Yeah, and that was brought up in our press conference today. Jeff Linder, who writes for the Gazette, asked about, there's certain times, people fast break, and it can be a train wreck as far as turnovers, and the ball ends up in the ninth row and all those type of things. And that's what I think at the beginning of the year we had a few of those. But we've gotten so much better as the year goes on. And now, we're transitioning really, really well without turning the ball over. And that's, we had 10 turnovers. Wait, no, that's not true. We had 14 turnovers against Penn State. But we're always going to have a few more just because of our transition.
Yeah, and
the amount of times that we have on the ball on offense, because we play at such a fast rate that we have more possessions than most people do.
Yeah, and you're going to take a few risks sometimes, too. Yes. I mean, you got the talent and the personnel to do that.
And it's fun.
That's okay.
It's fun.
It is a lot of fun to watch, no doubt about that. Well, we're just getting going here on Hawk Talk from Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. If you want to jump in the conversation, as always, I know I've got a couple of questions here from the folks here at Bumps. If you have a question, come on up, and we'll get it to Coach Bluder. Not a problem. But if you want to join in the conversation as well, 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-GO-HAWKS, as always. And certainly appreciate Oak Knoll sponsoring the show. And, of course, your years that you spend at the University of Iowa, if you did, certainly some of the best. But you can also make your retirement years even better by coming to Oak Knoll and the land of the Hawkeyes. Oak Knoll is a not-for-profit life care, life plan community, and has been a part of the Iowa City community for 55 years. It is a community that offers their residents an innovative, appealing lifestyle choice, and what a gift it is to give yourself and your children the gift of life care and financial security. Oak Knoll, proud sponsor, of course, of Hawk Talk, right here at Bumps Restaurant. You can call Steve Rowe, the executive director, at 319-351-1720, 319-351-1720 for a tour, or, of course, go to www.oakknoll.com for more information. We'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder from Bumps after the break on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
And welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, live from Bumps on Monday night. Don't forget, we'll be right back here, same time, same place, next week on Monday. Just one Big Ten game on the women's side tonight. Northwestern is hosting Nebraska, and Nebraska's doubled up on the Wildcats 30-15. As yesterday, the big game, we got to see a little bit of it while we were waiting to board the plane out at Penn State, but Indiana and Purdue, great crowd at West Lafayette, over 14,000, and there were a lot of Indiana fans there as well. But Indiana, of course, the Hawks' opponent on Thursday that we'll talk about, number 2 in the country, 69-46 over Purdue, as Purdue just scored 2 points in the third quarter. And against a really good team, that will probably seal your fate, as it did there. Illinois got a victory over Minnesota, 69-62. Maryland destroyed Ohio State, 90-54. And Michigan took care of the Michigan State Spartans. Interstate battle there, 77-67. And Rutgers defeats Wisconsin, 73-67. Ohio State, after you beat them, not won a game.
I think they won one. I think they've won 4 of their last 5. Or lost 4.
4 or 5.
4 of their last 5. And J.C. Sheldon is back. She got back for the game yesterday, and she had 4 points. This is a player that averages 20 that is right now, I think, predicted as a 10th draft pick in the country. Really good shooter. And, they got her back, and I think they were expecting, the team to really respond. But sometime when you've been out like 20 games and then you come back, it takes a while to get that chemistry back with everybody else and the flow and even your rotations on your substitutions and that sort of thing. So I'm sure they're going to feel all those growing pains, but maybe be ready for the Big Ten tournament.
Well, then that changes minutes, too. Obviously, somebody that was getting a lot of playing time, that's diminished when she comes back.
Yes, that's right. That's right. A lot of changes.
Yeah. And it was great to have, speaking of, and it was only 2 games that McKenna Warnock missed, but great to have her back and in the flow here this past week. Yeah,
we were really glad to get her back for the Maryland game. And, I know, she's 1 for 3 from the field. It takes a little time to come back into that, though. And she had 3 assists in that game, 6 rebounds. And then yesterday, I thought she played very well, 4 for 6 from the field. We tried to limit her minutes a little bit yesterday, just so, maybe she'll be a little bit better for the Thursday night night game against Indiana. Not that she wasn't good now, but I mean just like saving her basically for that opportunity.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that in the third and fourth quarters. She ended up playing 18-28.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 calls
All right.
on the line. Let's head to Des Moines first and bring in Anthony. Anthony, how are you this evening?
Pretty good, Bob. Coach, how you folks doing this spring-like weather this evening?
Very good.
I love the spring weather.
Coach, before I get to your questions here, I have to say once again, how about those Lady Hawkeyes?
Yes,
2 games in a
indeed.
row.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Anthony.
Coach, first question I have, with the Big Ten season is getting close to winding down with 2 wins this past week. What is your net rating and RPI rating as of right now? And the second question is I have for you, Coach. What are your concerns against Indiana on Thursday night? Boy, I am nervous about this one. And the third question I have for you is I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. Is there in some way I can have an autographed picture of her, and I can have to give you my mailing address if I could, if it's all right with you?
Well,
listen and go Hawks.
Thanks,
I'll stay
Anthony.
on the line for you.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, the net ranking, I think, are you looking it up right now?
Yeah, I can look up where it was today.
I'm not sure where that sits right now. We're going to try to look it up.
It's pretty good, though.
And as far as Indiana, what worries me is they're one of the best defensive teams in the country, but also what made them able to guard them last year was that they didn't really shoot the 3 very well. In fact, I think they were last or second to last in the Big Ten last year in 3-point shooting, and now they're an exceptional 3-point shooting team because of the transfer portal. They brought in Sydney Parrish, who transferred from Oregon. She was Miss Indiana basketball, and she's shooting 41% from the field in conference. They also brought in from Minnesota, Sarah Scalia, who was a great shooter for Minnesota. She came over, and she is also, over 30% 3-point shooter. And then we also brought in a player that's a freshman, a 6'3" freshman, Yarden Garzin, that is from Israel. She plays for the Israel national team, and she is the second best 3-point shooter in the United States right now. She is shooting almost 50% from the field from 3. Just outstanding. And so the addition of those players has really made a difference in their 3-point shooting. And so that's kind of making it harder to guard Mackenzie Holmes inside because they have these great shooters outside. It's just kind of like us. Monica's job is easier if we're shooting 3s well. Monica's job is harder if we're not. And so basically with Mackenzie Holmes is right now, averaging 25 points a game, which is very, very good.
And Grace Berger back for another year.
Grace Berger came back for her COVID senior year. She's now playing the point guard position for them. And again, she's shooting over 50% from the field. Just a tremendous player, tremendous athlete. So this is a team that's very different than last year. And it's a team that everybody thought was going to be kind of down because, they lost 3 of their starters. But then you bring in these players that they have and combine them with really a great post player, Mackenzie Holmes, and it's all the difference in the world.
Net ranking for the Hawkeyes, number 8 in the country. Indiana's number 5. And then have to go to Ohio State is 16, Maryland 17. So shows you the league, especially in that upper half, is really tough.
5 teams ranked in the top 25 right now. And, with 6 games left, we've got a tough schedule. We'll have Indiana twice. We're at Maryland, at Nebraska, hosting Wisconsin, and hosting Rutgers. So our road games are really tough, and then we have the home game against Indiana. So we have a tough schedule left, but so does Indiana. Indiana has us twice, Ohio State. They play at Michigan, I believe, and then they host Purdue again.
And Michigan seems to be playing pretty good basketball, too.
Yeah.
Good team. Let's go to North Liberty. Karen, how are you this evening?
Well, hi. The last 2 games were great. You know what was great about them? I didn't get any heart attacks watching them. I just enjoyed them from the very beginning to the end. And some of those passes that were terrific, the people that catch them also make those look great. And I wanted to, and I was going to say, you made Maryland so mad that they just killed Ohio State. So I would like to know, what would you rather the girls do? More passing or more dribbling?
Well, that's an interesting question, Karen. I've never had that one before. And, I have to, you sound like my mom when you say,
Well, we know one that can do both, right?
She likes those games that are not quite so close as much. But, yeah, I think you're right, Rob. I think somebody that can do both, the passing and the dribbling, are both important to us. But they really are. They're both a really important part of the game. We celebrate the assists. We love it. But lots of times it's the dribbling that leads to the assist, or, the dribbling that draws a foul that gets us the free throw line where we're not too bad either. So, really looking for that multi-dimensional player that can do everything: pass, shoot, dribble.
But she's right, too, with some of the fast break opportunities that present themselves. You can have great passers, but if you don't have a
somebody
receiver
catching them, that's right.
Then you're in trouble.
That's right. Yeah.
So you got to have those players that can make the play, and that's what you do such a great job as far as converting them. You get to pass the ball down the court, but if it's somebody that has a tough time with their hands, and that's not going to turn out so well. And then I think, too, you talk about ball handlers and good passers. That's certainly gone into how good you've been against the pressure defense, I thought, which you've seen a lot of.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of different presses. Now, we're not going to see that against Indiana, so we're kind of going to take a little bit of a break from that. But Indiana really prides themselves on their quarter court defense. They'll pick up Caitlin in the full court a little bit, but really not in a press situation. But they're long, and I think that's what makes them good defensively is when you're starting three or 6 foot, 5'11", and 6'3", and then you're power forward 6'2", and your center 6'3". That's a big lineup out there. They're long, and they'll pressure the ball really well, and they'll get out in the passing lanes, and so they just pride themselves on just really good defense.
Marshall in Eastern Illinois calling in tonight on Hawk Talk. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great. Coach, I want to know, how long do you anticipate you'd like to keep coaching? Another 20 years maybe at Iowa?
At least.
Is that your only question, Marshall?
I don't know. Did you guys catch the sign at the end of the game last Thursday?
Which one?
The one where I asked for a selfie with Rebecca Lobo.
Did you get it?
Oh, yeah. She was so nice.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for being there, and thanks for, that's awesome.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game, and appreciate you being there, and I'm going to keep coaching for as long as I'm having fun.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and fun is taking place, that's for sure.
Right.
Done a great job, Coach, and a lot of years left, and we got a lot of the show left as, of course, Iowa and Indiana coming up on Thursday night. Now, it's an early tip, so it'll be a 5:30 tip here in Iowa, 6:30 out on the East Coast, and certainly should be a great, great game with two top 5 teams, and just shows you how difficult this Big Ten Conference is and has made it a lot of fun, no doubt about it. Attention Hawk fans who buy your own health insurance, Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. Also, Iowa basketball brought to you by Iowa Corn. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. What connections do you have to corn? Those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all of Iowans. Share your winning moments using #IowansWin. If you want to jump in on the conversation, the phone lines are open, 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-GO-HAWKS. We've got a couple of questions here at Bumps we'll get to. If you have one, come on up, and we'll certainly talk about whatever's on your mind. And we'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, presented by Oaknall on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
At Cenex, we're locally owned and operated, so your community is our community. That's why your Cenex goes far beyond the store. We fuel community connections by supporting local festivals, restoring town monuments, and renovating baseball fields. Now in its 4th year, we'll have contributed more than $400,000 to Cenex communities through our Hometown Pride initiative, because community connections make the places we live so special. Cenex, powered locally.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
More Hawk Talk from Bumps at Fickbine Golf Course on a Monday night as the Hawks prepare for the second-ranked Indiana Hoosiers on Thursday night from Assembly Hall in Bloomington. Indiana 12-1 in the league and winners of 10 in a row. Of course, the Hawks have won 8 in a row, stand at 11-1. Then you've got Maryland in third place at 10-3. And then Ohio State and Michigan tied at 9-4. Illinois at 8-5. Purdue at 6-6, right in the middle of the pack. And then Nebraska, you always know that they're a dangerous team. Iowa will play in Lincoln a week from Saturday, 5-6. And don't forget Rutgers, 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, as the Hawkeyes will have 3 home games left to go. Rutgers right now at 4-8, but coming off a victory against Wisconsin at 73-67. Some of the highlights from Sunday's game, of course, Caitlin Clark, her 9th career triple-double, tied for second most in NCAA women's basketball history, as Coach was talking about earlier. And Iowa held Penn State, remember, to 9 points in the first quarter, which ties a season best for Iowa's defensive play in Big Ten games. And that's now 8 in a row for the Hawkeyes against Penn State. There's some really good win streaks out there against Big Ten teams for the Hawkeyes, and now Penn State certainly is one of them. Coach talked about Monica Czinano. She has shot at least 70% from the field in 7 of the last 8 games, And Caitlin Clark has extended her streak of scoring in double figures to an unbelievable 75 straight games. That also an NCAA best. We'll go back to the phones, and we're going to go down to Florida and bring in Kay. Kay, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Thanks for calling.
Yes, we're normally in Iowa, but we're doing a little month trip to Florida.
Well, I don't blame you.
Saw that there was a little request for ice cream after Penn State. Just wanted to know if they actually got that ice cream.
They did get the ice cream.
I saw more than one scoop, too.
We all got the ice cream, and it was very good. The Penn State Creamery, they pride themselves on that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we enjoy watching you on TV while we're down here, and so happy that we've got so much media coverage for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Well, it is fun. I hear a lot of people in Florida get together with other people and watch all the games. And the Big Ten Network has just been fabulous. And being able to, let Hawk fans that are here during the summer be able to continue to cheer for their Hawkeye teams in the winter down in Florida. So we're very appreciative of that. And thanks for watching, Kay.
And network games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ESPN.
It's just great for the game.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Nate in Harlan. Nate, how are you?
Hey, good. How we doing?
Good.
Hey, just a couple quick questions. I'm a Hawks fan for Lady Hawks and Hawks alike. Just curious, how important, coming off a big win, how important is the crowd and home court advantage, and then with the big game coming up against Indiana, the following 2 away games? Just how important are the fans showing up and kind of keeping the atmosphere up and keeping everybody charged?
Yeah, I think that playing at home is just tremendous. I love playing in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Now we have to go to play at Indiana, and the rumor is it's sold out. Assembly Hall is for our game. I really think that the Big Ten attendance for women's basketball has just been growing and growing, and I think we kicked this whole thing off. But honestly, whenever we're going, we played in front of 10,000 at Michigan, 10,000 at Ohio State, now 14,000 at Indiana. It seems like, we're always playing in front of great crowds, and that the Big Ten attendance, with 5 teams in the Big Ten and in the top 25, I do think that, the excitement for Iowa and for Big Ten basketball is at an all-time high right now. And so we love the crowds. I do think it is an advantage to have that crowd. And even more advantage maybe that you get to sleep in your own bed and that you don't have to travel and that you're used to the facility. But certainly it's so much fun to play in front of a high-energy home crowd.
And I think you've got the players that enjoy it, Coach. Obviously veterans, they've been around great atmospheres before, but I think they really pride themselves on what they do away from Carver.
Yeah, I think they do. I think, they kind of get up for those games even a little bit more, and are, they don't get intimidated for sure, and that's fun.
Nate, anything else? Oh, he's gone. Okay. All right. Well, I guess not. That answers that, right? Well, we'll be back and get to some of the questions here from Bumps as we continue on Hawk Talk. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for now the 10th consecutive year and proudly supports Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. We'll be back with more. Appreciate everybody calling in and having questions here at Bumps. It's presented by Oaknall, of course, and we'll be back with more on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Back at Bumps, Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder on a Monday night. We'll be here until 7 o'clock, and next week, Monday night as well, until 6 until 7. So hopefully talking about a couple more Hawkeye victories. That's the plan, and we'll head back to the phones as Tammy is calling in from Mason City. Tammy, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Hey, Coach was talking about how she thinks there's no better duo than Monica and Caitlin, which I agree, but I don't think there's any better coach in the NCAA for women's basketball.
There you go.
Than Lisa.
Now we're talking.
So 100%, and not just Lisa, but Jan and all the other coaches. So I am a huge fan. I have a company in Mason City, and all my employees are mad because I just put Lisa Bluder's quotes up on my bulletin board. So. And then my question, Lisa, is who do you look up to as NCAA coaches nowadays and in the past? Who's your mentors for coaching?
Yeah, great question, Tammy. Thanks, and appreciate that very much. But I appreciate also bringing up like Jan and Jenny and Abby and
big hand
Raina.
for Jan. Comes out every Monday. Yep.
Yeah, she's outstanding, and I'm just so blessed, really, to have these guys that are with me, for 30-some years, and so that's amazing. But NCAA. I mean, you grew up. Pat Head Summit was, the one that everybody looked up to. She was the first one that really, was winning all those championships, and that was outstanding. And of course, C. Vivian Stringer, being here, an Iowa girl, and coaching over at St. Ambrose when she came here, that was somebody that I really looked up to, and obviously she let me into her practices and camps and that sort of thing too. So those two people were definitely Tara Vanderveer as well. From Stanford. Olympic coach. She's won, Olympic gold. She's won the NCAA tournament, but also somebody that I really like. Spend some time with her on the phone before talking about defense and things. And so she's somebody that I really respect and consider a friend as well.
Yeah, you see a lot of coaches have good friends around the country. They might throw some ideas back and forth. Do you talk to other coaches much during the season?
Not during the season, but after the season is over. That's kind of when you're thinking, okay, what can I improve on? And that's when you get on the phone and ask, can we just Zoom and talk about some of this stuff? And a couple of years ago, Tara spent a lot of time with me, and it really helped my defensive thinking. And so I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah. And sometimes you just stay in contact with coaches, not necessarily in the conference, but somebody that you might know. Just shoot them a text if they have a big victory or something like that.
Like Michelle Clark-Hurd is the head coach at Cincinnati. She and I worked together for USA Basketball in the Pan Am Games, and Scott Ruick was one of our assistants too. He's at Oregon State. So absolutely, keeping track of those. And then your own players too, right? Like Jenny Lillis, who's over at Oklahoma right now, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The coaching tree continues. We had a question here about Taylor McCabe, of course, the National Gatorade or Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year, also the Nebraska Coaches Association Player of the Year. Great shooter, obviously showed that off on yesterday's game against Penn State. Just about her development and kind of what you saw out of her in high school and AAU.
Well, Taylor is a phenomenal shooter. I mean, her feet are ready to shoot the ball before she has the ball in her hands. And that's why her release is so quick. She's incredibly accurate. She made 2 threes yesterday. She's such a great kid, and she's so intelligent. She wants to be a civil engineer. She's getting straight A's in the engineering department at Iowa. Just amazing. But one thing that she's going to work on in the off season is just a little bit more strength development. She's not a really big individual, so she needs to get a little stronger so that she can really be physical, playing defense and that sort of thing. But, boy, if you give her an open shot, I would bet on Taylor. She is a very, very good shooter.
Yeah, you can tell the release. Not going to miss many in her career.
Right.
Be a great shooter. We had another question, too. Obviously, when we've had some of the players here, which obviously everybody enjoyed and really appreciate them stopping by during their break when they didn't have classes, kind of talked about, their recruitment. And, a player like Caitlin Clark, who everybody's in the country's after.
Right.
Just how hard is it and time-consuming to try to go after, a top 10 player, top 20 player in the country?
Yeah, it takes a lot. It really helps when they're in Des Moines. I mean, because then it's only a 2-hour, car ride over there instead of a 2-hour, 4-hour, 6-hour flight. And so that makes a big difference, And women really don't, as a general rule, want to go far away from home. They'd rather stay where they're known and where their parents can see them play. And, I don't know how the men fit into that picture, but I really think women tend to want to stay close to home if they can. Now, that's not always the case. But it is very time consuming. You spend a lot of time, and I'm looking at Coach Jensen right now because she spent a lot of time with Caitlin, texting, talking on the phone and that sort of thing, going over there to watch open gyms, watching her games. And there is limits that the NCAA says that you can only see an athlete so many times live, but there's no limit on how many text messages you can send or emails or phone calls. And so that gets to be quite consuming.
And those types of players obviously are getting bombarded with that type of thing.
They're hearing from everybody. And just think, we have 4 coaches on our staff that could all be texting Caitlin at one time. Now multiply that times 100 different universities that are recruiting her. You can see how it can be mind-boggling a little bit and why kids really want to make up their mind early, because it's like, wow, this is too much. I want to enjoy my senior year, my junior year, whatever it is. And so kids are making up their decisions earlier because of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You think it's all fun and games, and it is at the beginning, but then it obviously weighs on you after a while.
Yep.
No doubt about that. Well, we'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. Stay with us on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
Love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hawkeye basketball brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes back Hawkeye fans to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. And, of course, don't forget on Sunday, Iowa and Rutgers, that's a 2 o'clock tip. So perfect time. You can get home, watch the Super Bowl, no problem. And it's the pink game. It's obviously had some on the road here,
Yes.
Coach, as you talked about earlier with the pink uniform.
Yep.
But it'll be the home game on Sunday.
Our home game, we only have one the year. Our next our next 3 games are all pink games, but they're on the road, so we only get one home game. So we'd rather, you wear your pink and come out and support this team. We're playing Rutgers. We'll be coming off the Indiana game. Don't know what that's going to hold. That game will be, like you said, 5:30 here. Tip. It's on the Big Ten Network, and then we'll be playing at home. And there's only a few more opportunities to see this team play at home. 2 o'clock against Rutgers on Sunday.
As you talk, Coach, with Indiana, the key thing is this is a much better three-point shooting team than they've had in the past.
Yeah, just our defense has got to be on par. Just all connected. Their three-point defense is so much better. We're going to have great post defense on Mackenzie Holmes, and just really keeping our composure in that environment that we're going to face with 14,000 people there.
Yeah, you're going to be a great atmosphere for Big Ten basketball. Both teams are really on a roll, and Monica Czinano and Mackenzie Holmes, that'll be a featured matchup.
It's going to be a battle. Going to be a battle.
No doubt about it. Well, we're looking forward to it as the Hawks and the Hoosiers on Thursday night, 5:30 Central. Thanks for coming out to Bumps. Thanks for calling, and we'll talk to you Thursday night from Bloomington.
on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. This has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network. On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey, brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our usual spot here each week for Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey. That is the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. Great crowd again on hand tonight. Thank you for listening in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Make it a point to come on out for one of our few remaining shows. We've got a handful left here each and every week. 90 minutes of Hawk Talk, courtesy of many wonderful advertisers, most notably the Hyatt Regency, where they're gearing up, Matt and the staff are gearing up for Valentine's Day. Coming up, in less than 2 weeks. Bring your sweetheart out to the Hyatt Regency Coralville's Edgewater Grill. Their chefs are putting together a special 4-course meal for two, featuring choice of appetizers, salad, entree, and dessert. Entree choices include seared Chilean sea bass, grilled Berkshire pork chop, and filet mignon. And then finish the night with your dessert choice of warm apple crepes or mocha cappuccino mousse. The dinner for two is just $99 and includes a champagne toast for the couple. Make your reservations today by calling the Edgewater Grill at 319-541-0638. 319-541-0638. Let's give a champagne toast to the Hawkeyes, including Tony Perkins, who netted a career-high 32 points in leading the Hawks to an 81-79 triumph over border rival Illinois Saturday afternoon here in Iowa City. The two teams' only regular season meetings, so the Hawks get the tiebreaker over another opponent that they're log-jammed with, and we'll talk all about that as we go over the standings a little bit later on. But now, after a stellar 3-game homestand for Coach McCaffrey and the Hawkeyes, winning all three, the Hawks have now won 7 of their last 9. They head out on the road for a pair of games at number 1 ranked Purdue and Mackey Arena coming up on Thursday night. You'll hear that game here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We'll give you the times in just a minute. Mackey Arena, one of the noisiest, toughest venues to play. They're all tough in the Big Ten, but especially in West Lafayette, and especially with a team that Matt Painter has with right now the leading candidate for Player of the Year in Zach Edey, the Big Ten's 5-time Player of the Week. He's trying to catch Caitlin Clark. That's not going to happen. But the big 7-footer is something special to behold, and Coach Painter's put together another solid team at Purdue. But the Hawks are up for the task, and they're playing their best basketball without question. We'll get Coach's thoughts here in just a minute. But in the meantime, Iowa at Purdue is Thursday night. That's a 6 o'clock tip-off. So Bobby and I will greet you at 5 o'clock on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And Bob, there's much to talk about. We'd love to sit here and just, cackle about that 3-game homestand, but, that's in the rearview mirror now. But let's review Illinois. There was much to like there at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, it really was. And impressive performance by the Hawkeyes, and impressive performance by the crowd. The fans came out in that sellout on that Saturday afternoon 1:30 tip. A lot of emotion, a lot of intensity right from the get-go, and it was really, really loud in there. The thing that I can remember, we have our headsets on, but it just reverberated through my headset there. And great finish to the first half, I think, was key to victory. Chris Murray hits a 3-pointer to pull the Hawks within 1, 36-35 there, and then it comes out and Chris hits another one. Phillip hits a basket. So the Hawks got off and going, and I thought this game would be, the physicality of it would be a difference maker. The Hawks played through the physical play of Illinois. They hung in there on the boards. They got out rebounded, but not to their detriment. They got what they had to do and did not turn the basketball over, Gary. I thought was a really impressive part of that game. Just 7 turnovers to the 14 turnovers that Illinois had. So timely 3-point shooting. Peyton Sanford once again was hot. He was 3 for 6 from deep, but it was the Tony Perkins show in that second half. 4 points at halftime, and he turned it up. 28 points second half. Made 15 straight free throws before missing that final one for the 2-point margin there. But it was good to see Tony get a breakout game there, and you see the reaction from the team, from the coaches, everybody extremely happy for number 11, Tony Perkins.
He made his final 5 free throws against Northwestern, so add in 15 from the Illinois guys, 20 consecutive free throws. He was starting to crowd Vidnovic and Bohannon and the great Chris Street a little bit with his free throw streaks, but he can start another one. He's a very good free throw shooter, as all the Hawkeyes are. They're batting about 770 from the foul line in Big Ten play. But Hawks 12-2 at home. And usually when you're playing that solid and you're competing like they are, that will carry over on the road, no matter where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I remember playing Purdue over there the last few years is the press kind of bothered them a little bit, the three-quarter court press. So, they've got a bailout guy there in big Zach Edey. They can throw it up high in the middle of the court and break that. But I always felt that the 1-2-2 Hawkeye pressure can bother Purdue a little bit. You can control tempo the way you like it there. But they've got kind of a new team there with the young point guard in there, Fletcher Lawyer, the brother of Foster Lawyer. But Zach Edey is the man in the middle, number 15. The other night he had 33 points, 18 rebounds. Caleb First playing well. Listen to a game where Mason Gillis 2 games ago had 9 3-pointers, I think, 8 or 9 3-pointers. So you got to guard him on the perimeter, but it'll be crazy in there. You got some rest coming up here, Thursday night game. Hawks will be ready to go, no doubt about it. Got to be feeling good. When you can sweep the home series here, Gary, sweep the 3-game homestand, that does nothing but make you feel good about yourselves and each other.
Hawks are 2-1 against ranked foes this season, beating number 15 Indiana at home and number 20 Iowa State at Carver. Lost to 15th ranked Duke at the time on a neutral floor at Madison Square Garden. Iowa has faced number 1 ranked opponents before, and we'll look forward to the trip over to West Lafayette on Thursday night. Purdue won both regular season meetings a year ago, but the Hawks got him in the championship game of the Big Ten tournament and turned Purdue over a lot in that game, Bobby, and hopefully that carries over.
Yeah, I was thinking about that game today, and, Purdue just played their third game in 3 days. The Hawkeyes had to go 4 games in 4 days. So, Tony Perkins, again, he was big over there in the Big Ten tournament. But you got contribution from Josh Agundale in that game. He played, I think, 15, 17 minutes in that and really helped against the big fella, Zach Edey. But, there's a couple of different ways to guard Zach Edey, talking to people. You can play him one-on-one and then cover everybody else up on the perimeter, or you can double-team him, force him to give up the basketball, and then hope that they don't make threes out there. So we'll see what the Hawks go with when we get over there on Thursday evening. But, it'd be a fun game. Anytime you face number 1, Gary, it's a great opportunity for your program, a great opportunity for the kids, something they'll never forget.
Purdue had won 8 straight games before the Hoosiers got them this weekend, with Trace Jackson Davis again leading the way. And, of course, the Hawks are very familiar with both those programs, having played Indiana earlier this year. And now it's Purdue. Purdue's won 8 of its last 9. The Hawks have won 7 of their last 9. So you got two teams that are playing their best basketball in conference play. And we'll break it down for you over the next 90 minutes. You can reach us. More importantly, you can reach Coach McCaffrey on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawkeyes. And that's important because at some point tonight we're going to select some lucky tweeter or Facebook post with a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Authentic Brand. Submit a question for Coach McCaffrey each week via Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, and you can win $100 for Hawkeye gear from Authentic Brand. We'll announce tonight's winner a little bit later on. I see we got Anthony, Bjorn, Tim, and Chester. Drew, stand by. We'll get to you. Brandon, Marcus, we've got them lined up already, but we've got room for you on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey. Sponsored by Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light is delighted Hawk fans are back in Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans, and it was a sellout on Saturday. Now tickets are available for the remaining home games, and there aren't many of them left. 5 of the Hawks' final 8 will be in Carver, or on the road, excuse me. So several big home games remaining, though. There's Ohio State. There's Nebraska to conclude the regular season. That's always special because it is Senior Day on March 4th, and that is a Saturday afternoon, if memory serves me correct. So Michigan State is coming to Carver yet. So you've got plenty of options to come on out and root your beloved Hawkeyes on. U.S. Cellular is bringing locally grown connections all season long with any phone free for new and current customers. That's right, any phone free, courtesy of U.S. Cellular. Thanks to Matt and the crew here at the Hyatt for hosting us once again this evening. Come on out next week if you can't make it out tonight. We're here until 8:30 at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing, the Edgewater Grill and Bar. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. and we bring the best minds together to collaborate. So there's more brain power focused on you, because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffrey. Welcome back to our coverage. I'm Gary Dolphin along with Bobby Hansen. Again, the handles to reach us are on Twitter at Gary Dolphin and on Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks on your Facebook page if you want to reach out to the coach. Purdue dropped a 79-74 game to Indiana this past weekend. That snapped a 9-game winning streak. I said 8 earlier. My bad. 9-game winning streak. That was the 4th longest streak in the country. Bobby, Purdue is so much more than Zach Edey. You mentioned Lawyer, but they've got other guys. Braden Smith had 6 assists in that Indiana loss. David Jenkins Jr. has been playing well. They've got some options beyond Edey, but everything goes through him, of course.
It certainly does. And looking at the stat sheet here, the box score from that Indiana game, I was listening to a lot of that who were driving in to the game. 18 rebounds, 10 of those offensively. So you really got to pay attention to that big body and put a body on him. Try to get him out of the paint. He's almost an immovable object in there. The big fella is, but understand that he is left-handed. He can go over both his right shoulder for the left-hand hook or his left shoulder for a right-hand hook. You might want to have him chase out a little bit and see if he can defend out on the perimeter, pull him away from the basket. But he's a unique basketball player in college basketball when you're that size, Gary. And I played with a man 7'4" by the name of Mark Eaton, and defensively it was just a blessing to have the big man behind you all the time. You could take some chances, go for some steals, and you know the big guy's back there covering up for you. And that's what Purdue would do a little bit. You know, they hang their hat defensively. They're going to get after you, get out on the wings, on the perimeter. They got guys that accept their roles, play the roles very well. Mason Gillis, we talked about. Jenkins, you mentioned him. Brandon Newman's been around for a little while. Backcourt's young. Fletcher, Lawyer, and Smith, I believe, are freshmen. Caleb First is another guy that I think is a sophomore, but he accepts his role too. He does a lot of the dirty work, gets a lot of the garbage baskets, gets in there and gets rebounds for the team. But he's also a very capable shooter. He can step out to 15 feet and make shots. So Matt Painter's always got a good basketball team and got a great crowd, great student section over there. The Paint Crew.
The Paint Crew.
Sitting right by the bench. They like to have a lot of fun over there. So be a great environment for college basketball Thursday night.
You mentioned Mark Eaton. You know, oftentimes when you have a guy that big like Edey or Eaton, their feet are lacking, or they're not quick or fast enough to cover everybody because they occupy so much space. But that isn't the case with Edey, or was it with Mark Eaton? What impresses you about a guy that big? What are their other attributes, I guess, that impress you if they're that good?
Well, the coordination. Yeah, he got good hands, good strong hands. He's got a soft touch. He can make free throws. Big Zach Edey does. He doesn't say much out there, but he's always kind of communicating with his teammates as big guys do, telling you where they're at, so you can take a chance. But his coordination, Gary, he's not clumsy by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know, did I read somewhere that he was a hockey player up in Canada maybe for a little while? So, you got to be pretty nimble on your feet, on your skates if you're gonna lace them up. So,
I don't think he was 7'4" when he played hockey, but he
was a little under that.
He had the growth spurt.
I think he went down to IMG Academy for a year and kind of refined his skills down there. But last year he was splitting time, I think, wasn't he, with Travion Williams? And
he was for a couple of years.
Yeah, for a couple of years. And now it's his job. The man in the middle there played 32 minutes against Indiana, 33 points, 18 rebounds, 3 block shots.
It's not often you out-rebound an opponent by 16 and lose. And that's
crazy.
That's what happened the other day. Purdue out-rebounded Indiana 38-22. Indiana had a 15-point lead in the first half, so credit the Boilermakers. If they do get behind, they're never going to quit because that's not the Matt Painter way. They're outstanding, well-coached, always seemingly spot on where the ball is defensively. They have had some turnover issues here in the last couple of years, and they had 16 turnovers. So, the Coach McCaffrey will get his thoughts on that shortly here. They're going to try and turn the Boilermakers over as well they should, and that was a critical juncture in winning the Big Ten title last March down in Lafayette now, or in Indianapolis now. I know the personnel has changed. The Hawks still have Chris Murray, thankfully. He had I don't want to say a quiet 19 points, but he just glides out there. He flows out there. He was so critical to the Hawkeyes' success on Saturday. This is the kind of stage Chris can do some dancing on.
Yeah, absolutely. 19 points, 7 rebounds, a couple of steals, 3 assists, no turnovers, 5 for 11. Just picked his spots when the Hawks needed it. The big 3 at the end of the first half I thought was huge, was critical, and it was a good job of substituting in, using your timeout, getting him and Peyton Sanford, I believe, back into the game, and the Hawks pulled to within 1 and had momentum, had the crowd just erupted when that three-pointer went in. But Chris, we don't ever want to take him for granted, but he is smooth, and he just got to keep going. 7 out of 9 from the free throw line, 2 of 6 3-point shooting, so he is certainly on that path to All-American candidacy right now.
And they played smart basketball throughout, but especially the last 10, 12 minutes. They finished the game with Chris Murray, Connor McCaffrey, Peyton Sanford, all with 4 fouls. Aaron Eulis had 3. Philip Obracha only had 2 personal fouls, but they played well in a tough environment with the foul situation being the way it was.
Yeah, it certainly did. Looking at the run sheet here, that game was back and forth right up to inside a minute there, Gary, all the way down to the end. Actually, timeouts called, I think 2 or 3 of them there at the end. So it was an exciting game, a great college basketball game. And you mentioned Philip Obracha. He's been playing really, really good, undersized, but gives you everything he's got. And that was a game when he faced another guy who was huge in there, Dane Danger. And I thought Philip held his own in there. Didn't get a ton of rebounds, but he was 5 of 11 from the floor, made all 3 of his free throws, which ultimately when you win by 2, those are all critical.
Phillips getting used to playing tall timber. He's facing a big oak tree seemingly every night out, and of course that will be a California redwood he runs into on Thursday night in Zach Edey. But you know what? I love his competitiveness. Height disadvantage, weight disadvantage means nothing to him.
Bring him on. That's Phillips' attitude is, we'll just keep chopping away at him and finally bring him down. So, young man, I just can't say enough about him. Gary, his toughness and what a great teammate he is, and kids all love him, and he comes to work every day, doesn't say much, he's going to give you everything that he's got, and just continues to improve, which is a really good thing in college basketball. You see a kid improve year over year.
Hawks have the number 1 ranked offense in the Big Ten at 81 points a game. Purdue is giving up 12 points shy of that, so it's going to be a heck of a collision. Number 1 ranked Purdue hosting the Hawkeyes coming up on Thursday night. You mentioned Philip Obracha. In this 9-game stretch where the Hawks have won 7 of 9, Phillips averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, a near double-double. So he will be the catalyst inside, along with Chris Murray, along with Peyton Sanford and others. And tough Tony Perkins, Aaron Eulis, Josh Dix, Bobby, he's been providing some quality minutes off the bench. More of the same from him, please.
Yeah, he really has. Just solid. Doesn't turn the basketball over. He's got his head up. He's looking to get into the offense, and when you leave him, He's automatic. He's a player that certainly Fran trusts, 100% and gets him into the game and just continues to grow. And in this game here against Illinois, Josh, 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2 from the three-point land and played 6-7 minutes, but solid, steady minutes. Played good defense as well. Moved his feet, kept the Illinois guards in front of him.
So there's kind of a backdrop or a preview of what Bobby and I, how we see Thursday night's game, the facts and figures, the key components, the key players. Coach McCaffrey is joining us next to give us his thoughts not only on the Illinois victory from Saturday, but as we look ahead to this road trip at Purdue and then at Minnesota. Now there's some issues with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They announced today their game with Illinois early this week has been postponed at the very least because of COVID issues with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They just got a handful of players left on that roster right now. They've had certainly some key injuries in the last few weeks, but now COVID has reared its ugly head. So now the Iowa game, of course, is way out there yet on Sunday. There's usually typically a 3-day window or a 3-day a sit-out period for players if they detect or test positive for COVID. We won't know any more on that till later in the week, but Coach knows all about Purdue and Illinois in the rearview mirror. We'll come back and get Fran's thoughts as we press on in this Big Ten season. We'll update the standings for you as well. Again, the Twitter handle to reach Coach McCaffrey here on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency is @GaryDolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Back to the Edgewater Bar and Grill next. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey from Learfield. You're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to great sounding deals, sometimes the only thing you can trust is that there's something they're not telling you. So when we tell you that at US Cellular you can choose from any unlimited default plan and get $700 off any phone with no hidden requirements and no trade-in needed, you're probably thinking, yeah, right. But in this case, that actually is right. Because at US Cellular, you actually can trust that we mean what we say. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
We're back on Hawk Talk at the Hyatt Regency, Coralville's Edgewater Bar and Grill in the Iowa River Landing. What a beautiful place. what a happening place this past weekend. Of course, Iowa, Illinois was the marquee event, along with the girls' state wrestling tournament. They had the finals on Friday night, and then on Saturday, the boys moved in with the state dual meet championship. Saw Dan Gable there. Hawkeye basketball, everything's going on here in the Iowa River Landing, and you can be a part of it here at the Hyatt Regency. For Hawk Talk each and every week, you can enjoy extended happy hour until 8:30 each and every Fran McCaffrey show. Come try their brand new menu and enjoy nightly specials, including $2 off draft beer, half off glasses of select wines, and buy one, get one half off appetizers and sandwiches. Each time you come to the show, you'll be entered into the hotel's drawing to win a range of prizes, including a free room night giveaway each week. All entries will be pooled together for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season. Coach, I noticed you were engrossed in your meal. What'd you have tonight?
I always get the salmon. It's really good.
That's still your go-to?
Yeah, that's the go-to.
Broccoli?
Green beans, rice.
Okay. Well, you are a health nut.
I did have some cheese curds.
Oh, okay. Full confession.
Some Mountain Dew.
You have to wash it down with some Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew and a little water.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, there's reason to celebrate with a meal like that. You had to be so pleased in so many areas about the win over Illinois.
Yeah, that's a really good team. I said that after the game. They not only have a talented starting five, they've got a really good core of 8 or 9 guys that really contribute. They're connected, and they're really big. You see more and more teams today downshifting and going with smaller lineups. 3 guards, 4 guards, 3 guards and 2 small forwards. I mean, no center to speak of. But they have, they're 6'10", 6'10", 6'9", and then Shannon at your 2 spot. He's one of the more athletic players in college basketball. He's just a power pack. And the kid Epps is really playing well. He came in a little bit more under the radar than some of their other guys, but he's playing as well as any freshman in our league right now. So I was really proud of how our guys competed, especially because, we got behind and we came back, and then we got behind again, and then we got the lead, then we gave up the lead, got behind again, and they really hung in there. We went up 3, and we were pressing, and Connor was about an eighth of a second late on a steal. I thought we had the steal. We would have had a breakaway or 3-on-2, 4-on-2, and he just turned and hit a 3-to-3 to tie the game. It was plays like that. Every time they answered, we answered. So it's not like they blew the game. They kept coming. They kept scoring, and they kept executing, and so did we. And I think that's why, I think people really enjoyed the game because of that, and we had some guys really step up. The lineup on the floor at the end of the game, as you pointed out, was really, really playing well. Was Peyton and Tony and Connor and Phillip and Chris. One of the things that was really important, I thought, Chris got his 4th with about 9.5 to go, and we were really struggling with, okay, we just, leave him out there, and if he fouls out, he fouls out, but just ride him these last 9 minutes, or sit him for 2 minutes, sit him for 4 minutes. We were able to get him to the 4-minute media, basically, right? Because the guys that were on the floor did really well. We were able to rebound with them. We were able to defend and score. Obviously, Chris is important to our offense, but he's also a rebounder and a defender. So as long as we can, hold serve and buy him a little bit more time, because we did go to him twice coming down the stretch. We went to Tony quite a bit, right? As everybody saw, but we went to Chris a couple times. He got fouled and made free throws. We ran a couple plays for him. So I think that was really important. Connor was so good in that stretch. Being the glue guy, he made a big pass to Peyton. Connor really looks for Peyton Sanford when Peyton's out there. Peyton knows Connor's going to find me, or we call them screen assists. The ball swinging back to the other side, Connor's going to screen and get him open. if somebody else has to throw him the ball, but Connor's going to get him open. And Peyton, as you know, never stops. So, we're getting, closer and closer to having, all our guys. Patrick's getting closer to being, who he can be. He had a phenomenal practice today.
Good.
Ulis is playing really well. Dix is playing really well. Ogundelay's back. He's fit for duty.
Oh, good deal.
And Mulvey just keeps getting better. So, we're going to need those guys, obviously, on Thursday night.
Fran, that 6-0 run at the end of the first half was critical.
Absolutely critical. We got the ball back and ran a play for Chris, and they tried to jam it up on the baseline. He caught it a little deep, but as you know, he's got big-time range, so he just kind of pivoted and jabbed and just pulled. So, you hit a 3 at the buzzer when you're down 4 to cut it to 1. And then we had a good start to the second half as well, took the lead. But like I said, to their credit, they came right back. They didn't rattle. But when you have a bunch of guys that transfer, and Brad's done a good job of incorporating them into a new team. But Meyer's 24 and Shannon's 24. Danger's been around. They both played at Meyer and Danger played at Baylor. Shannon played at Texas Tech. We played them a long time ago out in Vegas. When we had Bohannon, and he's probably about the same age as Connor. Connor's in year 6. A lot of guys are in that range. So he's done a good job of blending those veteran guys with Coleman Hawkins, who's a really good player. And he's 6'10", and then their freshman kids are really playing well. Harris, and as I said, Epps, Melendez, he's back, but the Rogers kid's really good. They got 3 freshmen that don't play like freshmen.
Well, Epps kept him in the game that second half. You said they came back, and Epps was the guy who kept rallying.
He just keeps, he just keeps going right and finishing. He's kind of like, if you remember a couple years ago, Xavier Simpson at Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
He would kind of go and shoot that high hook shot, high off the glass, which is a really hard shot to make. And he used to make it, and that's what this kid does. I mean, he'll turn the corner, and he'll still be 11 or 12 feet from the basket, and he's shooting what looks like a layup. Those are really hard shots.
They are.
Because it takes incredible touch, and you have somebody flying at, somebody bumping you on the side, and somebody contesting at the rim, and you got to shoot it just right, and that's what he did. And then, of course, he had that step-back 3 at that one point in the game. So we just kept answering.
And Fran, the story of the game, second half, at least for me, was Tony Perkins. I mean, how impressive was that? It's been a while since I've seen an Iowa guy take over a game like that, 28 points in a half, and then 15 out of 15 until the miss. But that was like, wow, way to go, Tony.
Well, the thing about him is, obviously he figured out, we talked about it, they were playing drop coverage. So that enables him to turn the corner. But what has to happen is, Phil has to continue to screen, rescreen. They're trying to keep him to one side. They're trying to get up into his space. So he's got to clear the space and give him a little something one way, turn the other way, and then go shoulder to shoulder and get downhill. Now, you still have to make a pull-up jumper with a 6'10" guy somewhat near your space and another guy closing on the side of you. That's not easy to do. That's why a lot of teams play defense that way. But he just kept hitting his pull-up or just kept getting fouled, because they knew where we were going. And that's the stretch that when I was talking to Dolph about Chris being out. And it was important that Tony and Peyton and Phillip and Connor finding those guys. So that's what good teams do.
Coach, on that note, Drew, you answered Drew's question. Will Big Josh be ready for Purdue? In my opinion, going to need him in on the rotation to contain Zach Edey. Josh has had some success at Mackey Arena.
Well, he played really well there last year, and he played really well in the Big Ten tournament. Now, it was different, too, because last year they had Travion as well. So he was guarding both Zach and Travion. The Kaufman kid, the freshman, Kaufman Wren, is a good player. He's only a freshman, so he's going to be really good. Travion was one of the best players. I think he was a returning first-team All Big Ten player who they were bringing off the bench behind Zach.
Exactly.
So, Josh will be important. So will Riley Mulvey potentially. And Josh is ready to go, and he's trying to get in better shape. When you're out 5-6 weeks, and you come back, you feel good, but the question is always going to be, what's his win look like? So we'll see how much he can keep up.
And Coach, your three-quarter court pressure, I thought, was really good against Illinois. And if I remember right, I don't remember everything, but you've had success using it over to Purdue last year, a couple years ago.
Well, last year we went down there. Both teams were 7-0. I think they were ranked number 1 at the time. And Keegan doesn't play, and we got down 19 on the road, and came back, cut it to 2. It was a great comeback. It was Patrick and Connor and Tony. Joe Toussaint was involved in that, as was Ulyss and Phillip and Chris. Chris had a great game. It was kind of Chris's coming out party because he played the whole time because Keegan wasn't there. So those guys had success there. The press was really good to us.
Was that the New Year's Day game or New Year's Eve, was it? Early?
I don't think so. I think it was earlier than that. We were 7-0. So we only had played 7 games.
That was one of them early December Big Ten games. Okay.
It might have been our first. It might have been our
I'll
first.
tell you when it was, the night before the Big Ten football championship, because we were
December 3rd.
Zach Johnson was
early December.
Zach Johnson was sitting right behind the bench, and then he was down there because he was going to the football game right the next day. Yeah.
Now, if I remember, was Keegan? Is that the game Keegan missed with the ankle?
Yeah, I don't remember what the injury was. I just knew he didn't play.
So you didn't have him. Got down, I think, 15.
We got down 19.
Yeah, 19, and what a confidence builder to come back like that and make it a one-possession
we were flying
game.
around with the press and got some steals and then ran a few things. We ran a side OB and they tried to take it away and Chris ran the other way and hit a big 3. But we had a bunch of steals, and Patrick had 16 and was really attacking the rim. And he also was getting the free. He shot 10 free throws because he was really attacking. And that's how you have to play down there.
No question.
Matt's teams are always incredibly well prepared. They really defend. They really compete. And they typically never beat themselves. We did turn them over a little bit. They got a little bit tentative against it at one point. But it's a different team, with the handlers that they have. They got a bunch of handlers on this team. They're young, but those young kids are really good.
They are. Coach, before we take a break, let's take Brandon's question here on Facebook. Fran, you have such a bevy of three-point shooters. What goes into the development of three-point shooters? Obviously, these kids are great shooters in high school, but what do you add to their mix when they get to Iowa?
Well, yeah, it starts, like you said, with recruiting. It didn't take long to figure out that Peyton Sanford could shoot the ball. And you look at, Patrick's the all-time leading scorer at West High. You got Peyton Sanford. Tony was a phenomenal scorer in high school. More of a driver, but he shot it well. Chris and Keegan were both great three-point shooters in high school. Connor, same thing. So then the only thing you really do is you build confidence with it. You let them shoot it. Because if they're thinking about it, they're not going to make them. So they just have the green light. And we shoot in transition. We shoot pull-up threes in transition. We'll shoot 3 seconds into the shot clock. A lot of coaches won't do that. They want to work the ball and they want to call a set. I always say, like, if we inbound and throw it to Peyton, he's open at the three-point line 3 seconds into the shot clock. What can I diagram that's better than that? Why would I tell him not to shoot that? So that I can diagram something to get him the same shot. And we might not, right? He might not be open. So just, if you're open, shoot the ball. If you're covered, move it. If there's space, drive it. Don't overthink this thing. It's real simple. And if you do that, then you have a team full of guys that are playing with confidence. And that's when, as I always say, that's when you're the best version of yourself. My job is to get everybody that's out there to be the best version of themselves. Maybe they're not a great three-point shooter. Maybe they're more of a screener and a slip guy or an offensive rebounder or a defender. just be the best version of yourself when you're out there.
Back-to-back games for Peyton. As soon as he got across the timeline, he let fly in transition at critical moments.
And the other thing about that is, you hit one like that, so now he comes down the next time, and everybody runs to him. Now other people are open, and he's a willing passer.
Very good passer.
So, like a lot of shooters, they're just not very good passers. Sometimes they're not good. Sometimes they don't want to. So you have to have a team full of willing passers if you're going to run motion offense and you're going to be successful. And I think we're, first or second in the country in offensive efficiency right now. I think it's us and Purdue. So, that's what we preach.
And we've seen it. I love how you get in every shooter's face and say, keep shooting. I mean, sometimes if they miss a few, they'll hesitate.
And I do that in practice too, Dolph.
Yeah.
Like today, Ulis made some really nice plays, and he was missing his pull-up jumper, and he'd get downhill, and he'd hit, shoot his pull-up off the glass, and they weren't dropping, and he was getting frustrated. I said, man, just keep shooting that shot. Like, you're open, you're getting to your spots. Like John Chaney always said, if you shoot the ball, three things can happen, and two of them are good. It might go in, we might get the rebound, and they might get the rebound. So
that's why the percentages.
The other thing he would always say is, you keep passing the ball, you might turn it over. Shoot the damn thing.
Now, I hadn't heard that one. That's good.
I mean, he prided himself. For 15 years, they led the nation in fewest turnovers. That would be the one thing that he would blow a gasket if you turned the ball over. We are not turning the ball over. But what he would do is he was not afraid to shoot the ball early in the possession. And there was a stretch there when he was at Temple where we didn't even have a clock. And they were shooting it quick. Now, the funny thing with him was it was always, he had three guys that were allowed to shoot. The other guys,
rebound.
Throw it to Mark Macon.
Keep it in your
Let's not
pocket.
overthink this. You're not as good a shooter as him. Throw it to him.
John always had that. I mean, he had that puppy dog, sad face anyway, but he had that pain look when they turned it over. You'd show him on the bench. It was like the camera would go to him every time.
He was really a unique guy. I worked this camp coach when I was in high school. He was a coach at Cheney State College, and at the time, Vivian Stringer was the women's coach.
He and Vivian were good friends.
They both got their start there. It's an HBC just outside of Philadelphia, and I worked the camp up there. And we used to have so much fun. We'd go up there and we'd get in these hellacious games. I mean, here I'm like sophomore in high school, and I'm guarding World Be Free in a pickup game.
How'd that go?
I locked them up.
Well, with your foot speed.
Well, the one thing about World, he wasn't passing.
No, you knew he was going to shoot.
He was going to shoot it
from 40 feet.
And he was going to average 30. But John was such a basketball genius.
He was,
and he had very simple. He kept it simple. He's in the Hall of Fame, and he wasn't overthinking it. Look at me, I'm going to run this intricate offense. His thing was, we're going to play zone. We're going to protect the basket. We're going to contest. You're going to get one shot, and we're going to come down and we're going to move the ball. Take the first shot that shows by the right shooters. And you other dudes that aren't allowed to shoot, you screen and you go get it back. And then when you get it back, throw it back to the same guy.
Get it back to Mark Macon.
Throw it to Mark Macon, Tim Perry, or Howie Evans.
Or World Be Free. Oh, wait a minute, he wasn't.
He was with the Sixers at the time.
Good stuff. Coach McCaffrey's coming right back with us in just a minute here on Hawk Talk from the Edgewater Grill and Bar in the Hyatt Regency. Hawk Talk from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hawk Talk rolls along from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar. Welcome back. Great house here tonight. Tremendous crowd. Thank you all for coming out tonight, including the McCaffrey family. And, of course, head coach Fran McCaffrey. I'm Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen. Iowa at Purdue on Thursday. That always has a special ring to it. 6 o'clock tip-off, and then 5 o'clock for the pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. With that, why don't we just dovetail right into the Club Car Wash keys to the game. Bobby and I gave you our thoughts on Purdue. Starting with Zach Edey, let's get Fran McCaffrey's insight as to what the Hawkeyes face on Thursday. His Club Car Wash keys to the game are courtesy of Club Car Wash. With unlimited membership starting at just $20 a month, there's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. There was a line out the door at Club Car Wash today when I drove by there. As well there should be. They'll get rid of that salt, grease, and grime from the winter here over the next couple months till warm weather arrives. Fran, you've seen a lot of great big guys in your career. How is Zach Edey different? How is he unique? How is he similar to some of the other great ones you've run up against or at least schemed for?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Duff. I've coached against a lot of big guys. Not many of them were 7'4", 7'5". The thing that I've been impressed with Zach, you know, if you remember the first time they rolled in here his freshman year, he was a pup.
Yeah.
And he was trying to guard Garza. And it didn't go well for him. So Matt, you know, he still had Travion, so he kind of took Zach out of the game and played Travion. So then you kind of watch this young kid develop, and boy, was he better last year. And now, you know, he's probably going to be the player of the year in the country. He's got a great pair of hands. He was a horrible passer when he first got, you know, he would just catch it and turn and try to score, and everybody knew that's what he was going to do, so they'd double him or they'd trap him and go try to steal it from him, and he would fumble it, or, you know, he was a little antsy. Well, now he's a mature like Matt's done a good job with him. Like he catches it, he sees that the double team's coming, and he knows where to look. And sometimes, like, he'll be a little more crafty. Like, he'll catch it, it'll go right away. And sometimes he'll catch it and wait, and then skip it to one of their three-point shooters. And as you know, they always have a million of those guys.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
A team full of three-point shooters. So he's also, I mean, they play drop coverage too, but he's not a non-factor defensively. Like some drop coverage guys, I mean, they might as well stay in the locker room. They're just no impact defensively. Like, he's still going to rim protect, as you can imagine. Sure. And if you throw the ball to his man, he's a hard guy to score over. And he's doing that without fouling. He only has 38 fouls on the whole season. He's playing 31 and a half minutes a game.
He would constantly get in early foul trouble.
Yeah, you could shot fake him and he'd foul you. He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore. They've got him trained well to stay on the floor and at least certainly be able to be on the floor when they need him on the floor. And that's the key. Because they certainly want him coming down the stretch, but they run good stuff for him. But everybody else on that floor is a weapon. It's not like, okay, we guard these three guys and we can ignore these two guys. And no, and if he goes to his bench, if veteran guys like Jenkins and Gillis, like those guys, and then the freshman kid, Kaufman, but also Newman. So you got Newman, who started at one time for them, Gillis, who started for 2 years for them,
right,
and David Jenkins, who's got 2,000 points already. He's at his third school. So we played against him in 2017, okay, down in, where were we? Cayman Islands. He played for South Dakota State. So he went to South Dakota State, played for TJ, and then transferred to Vegas to play for TJ. And then transferred to Purdue. He's a really good player. So, you get the two freshman kids, Smith and Lawyer, who do not play like freshmen at all. They're smart, they're tough, they can make shots. And then Morton's the glue guy. He's the guy that there was like, what's he doing out there? All he does is win for you. That kid's tough, he defends. Just when you think he's not going to make a shot, he makes a three. He runs around, gets every loose ball. He's a good player. But again, he fits the other guys. But Caleb First, who's a sophomore now, we recruited him pretty hard. He's effective at the 4 spot. He's in there. He'll be in the dunk spot. So if you try to double Edie and you try to double big to big, he's right there to just flip it up to him. He's 6'10", so he's nice to have a 6'10" guy who go alongside a 7'5" guy.
I'm chuckling because I think we're up to 27 guys now that were in a different uniform 4 or 5 years ago when you played them. And
yeah,
it's just the state of the game today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just and you're hearing a lot of coaches kind of belly aching about it. You can't. The rules are the rules. You can play in your 6th year. You can transfer without penalty. You can transfer and then transfer again as a grad transfer. And you know what? We play whoever shows up. Whatever guys show up. We had games in the non-conference where they literally had 11 new bodies. It's not like, remember the old days you would buy the magazine to see who everybody has coming back. Well,
in July.
In July. No, nobody knows. When you find out? Yeah. When they walk in the building.
They tip it up.
Yeah.
Bobby?
Say, what do they do defensively, Fran? Play any zone?
No.
All man-to-man?
Never, ever, ever.
Will you see that?
Will you see zone from Matt Painter? He'll extend the point guard, pressure you full court, try to wear you down. They're going to fight through. They play drop with the big fella on ball screens, but they're blowing up dribble handoffs and they're chasing you hard and physical, and then battle you on the glass.
Those are Coach's Club Car Wash keys to the game, courtesy of our friends at Club Car Wash, where you can sign up for monthly membership starting at just $20. There's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. Fran, let's go to the YouTube chat room here, right here. Hi, everybody. Thanks for looking in tonight on the Hawkeye Radio Network and Hawk Talk from the Hyatt. Adam says we normally press after every made free throw. Does depth play a role in pressing after every made shot? How many players do you need in rotation to press for 40 minutes?
We've done that sometimes, and we will do that at various times, depending on who we're playing, depending upon what their press attack is. Yeah, you can't do it with 5 or 6 guys, but if you have 8 or 9, you can do that and just rotate them. Then you have to decide, okay, I'm gonna have to give everybody rest sometimes. Like we've had games this year where I played four of my 5 starters, 20 minutes in the second half. They didn't come out, so you're not going to press and do that. It really depends on the game, who you're playing, what they run, who's available. Do we have guys that are injured? That kind of thing.
Take us through the end of the game Saturday. Connor did a great job of finding the open man there. Not only that, but to get it across the timeline in 1.4 seconds. But what was Illinois doing to jam things up the first 2 tries?
Well, they brought everybody up, and Connor was looking to throw long, but you also don't want to throw it out of bounds. It's got to be there. Kind of like it was when we played Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. So we ran a couple different press attacks. The first time we got it in, I think Peyton was anticipating being fouled. He held it for 5 seconds and then called another timeout. He probably should have thrown it back. And looking at the film, he probably should have just given it back to Connor, and we could still call timeout. The thing about it is, anybody who's watching the game on TV, the announcer kept saying, okay, now they only have 4 seconds to get it over the 10 seconds. Now they have 2, but that's not the rule. It is if the ball is deflected out of bounds. But if you call timeout, you get a fresh 10. So there's only like 21 or 22 seconds, so we could use it all as long as we use our timeouts. So there's no need to get it over the 10-second line. The key is to get the ball to your best free throw shooter so that when they foul us, we're in the double bonus. Right. You want to be able to try to make both. So we got it to Tony, who had made 14 in a row, then went 1 for 2. So we got a couple different alignments. But Connor's, he's so good because he knows, okay, I can run the baseline. It's a spot throw. I can't run the baseline. All right, so then he'll communicate that to the rest of the guys. Like, you got to come to the ball now because I can't come to you. Because a lot of times it's better to start on one side and run the baseline and hit the guy coming on the other side of the floor, or maybe then hit the guy long as you have more time to figure it out.
It's amazing all the information you have to process with
but the key is, in that situation, like you pointed out, Dob, no panic. No panic. And you've got to make secondary cuts. Probably the best ever was Bohannon at getting open. You'd say, well, they've got a guy who's bigger and quicker than him. He would always get open. He did. He would always get open, and Connor would find him. That ability coming down the stretch and knowing you're in the double bonus, but just got to get the ball in bounds, will be fine.
Another Coach McCaffrey on the floor, as we were saying the other day, and do regularly. All right, we'll take a break, Coach. We're at the top of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey here in Iowa City at the Hyatt Regency. 10-second ID break for our stations to identify themselves. This is Hawk Talk. And we'll step out, take a break here, and hear from our wonderful sponsors. When we come back, we'll also take a look at the U.S. Bank Scoreboard. What other college basketball games are being played tonight? What else is going on in the sports world? That's next on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When it comes to great sounding deals, sometimes the only thing you can trust is that there's something they're not telling you. So when we tell you that at US Cellular you can choose from any unlimited Evolved plan and get $700 off any phone with no hidden requirements and no trade-in needed, you're probably thinking, yeah, right. But in this case, that actually is right. Because at US Cellular, you actually can trust that we mean what we say. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better. And welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey. Fran will rejoin us here in just a few minutes. We want to give you a U.S. Bank scoreboard update. Iowa at Purdue on Thursday. The Hawkeyes and the Boilermakers, number one ranked Purdue, tip off at 6 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 5 here with Bobby and yours truly on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Not much going on. Number 19 Miami throttled Duke tonight, 81-59. That was down on South Beach. Just getting underway, 5th ranked Texas at number 9 Kansas. That's a marquee game in the Big 12 this evening. By the way, our scoreboard is sponsored by U.S. Bank. At U.S. Bank, we know when you invest in a community, the community invests in you, and we're committed to providing high-quality, innovative products and services that meet the needs and demands of our customers. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. How about Caitlin Clark? 23 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists yesterday. Her 9th triple-double of her career, and just an amazing performance by Caitlin. We say that seemingly every game out. She is that good as the Hawkeyes rolled Penn State 95-51 over the Nittany Lions. 6th ranked Iowa now heads to Indiana on Thursday night as well to take on the Hoosiers, a battle of top 10 teams. Indiana ranked 4th when I last looked at the women's rankings. Clark, by the way, was today voted the Big Ten Player of the Week. That's her 17th Big Ten Player of the Week honor, 3rd most in conference history. Caitlin, as I mentioned, recorded her 9th career triple-double, which ties for 2nd all-time in women's college basketball. And she now has a string of 75 consecutive games where she scored in double figures. Again, the Hawks travel to Indiana Thursday. That's a 5:30 tip-off with Rob Brooks and Jamie Cavey Lang on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Of course, most of the affiliates will carry the Iowa and Purdue game, but you can find Iowa and Indiana women's game on certain, KXIC, I know for sure here in Iowa City, will be carrying the game at AM 800. All right. Wrestling, the Hawkeyes won the first 6 bouts of a duel Friday night in Minneapolis, built a nice 18-0 lead, and then Minnesota roared back, but Iowa wins at 18-13 to move to 13-1 overall, 6-1 in the Big Ten. The Hawks host Michigan at sold-out Carver Hawkeye Arena at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Hawk Talk with Iowa coach Fran McCaffrey is sponsored by Iowa Corn. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into victories for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. And attention, Hawkeye fans, you who buy your own health insurance, Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. We'll go back to Facebook and Twitter for Coach McCaffrey as Iowa gets ready to take on Purdue Thursday night. That's next here on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency. Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular. Locally grown connection. Limited time offer. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Hawk Talk program with Coach McCaffrey here at the Hyatt Regency. Our remaining 15 or 20 minutes. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for Joining us here at the Hyatt, the Edgewater Grill and Bar. Want to congratulate Brandon on Facebook. He's our winner tonight of the Authentic Brand $100 gift certificate. Authentic Brand is a proud partner, not only outfitting our broadcast team on game day, but outfitting thousands of Iowa fans every game day. Gear up for game day and every day. An officially licensed Hawkeye apparel and accessories from Authentic Brand. Authentic Brand's premium sportswear serves the everyday demands of small businesses in corporate America as well. Don't settle for less. Look, feel, and perform your best with the Authentic Brand label. All you need to do is log on to authentic-brand.com. Authentic-brand.com. Iowa at Purdue on Thursday afternoon and evening. Join us here on the Hawkeye Radio Network starting at 5 o'clock with pregame coverage. All right, Fran, Chris on Facebook. Coach, do you and Lisa Bluder ever share plays or philosophy or vice versa? By the way, your inbounds plays are top shelf. The play drawn up at the end of the Michigan State game was brilliant. We just missed the shot, but it was a great, well-drawn-up play. Well, I agree with you, Chris, but what about you and Lisa? I mean, I guss that wouldn't be bad advice. She's a Hall of Fame coach.
And she's got twice as many wins as I have. She's not asking me any questions.
So you're probably a little humble when you approach her, right?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to share my wisdom, but I don't think she needs it.
Twice as many wins. Well, you know what? You may be right. No, she doesn't have twice as many.
She's got over 800.
She's only at 800 plus.
800?
You're fine. She's on
her way to 9. Does that make her really old?
Well, I'm not going there, Coach. She's seasoned. That's what Coach Bluder is.
I think I'm a lot older than her. Which
I think it
makes it worse that she's got 800.
She's gotten there in a hurry, though. She had, she's won great everywhere she's been.
And she does a great job. Like when you have somebody like Megan or Kathleen Doyle or
Samantha Logic, I remember back.
Logic was something.
Yeah.
Logic was a triple-double machine. And now Caitlin, she's probably going to set the record, right? She'll probably have the record for triple-doubles when she's done.
She's got 9, number 2 all-time in the NCAA.
From the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Margaret is.
And Allie Distrop scored like 25.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could go down.
Makes coaching easy then, right? That's what you're saying.
We're a lot better when you have, 2,000-point scores.
Well, I'm guessing you gave.
We're a lot smarter. Those plays that he's referring to, they work better.
With Caitlin Clark. I imagine you gave Lisa a lot of good insight as to how Caitlin could become the player that she's become.
Well, you know what? She's smart like me. Just give her the ball and get out of the way.
Go shoot the ball.
Because, as good a scorer as she is, she's just a better passer. And some of the passes that the way she feeds Monica.
Yeah.
Because, you forget, nobody talks about Monica anymore. She might be the best post player in the country.
Fran, I agree with you.
She scores every time they throw her the ball. You're shocked when
she's always moving. She's always moving.
But the thing I love about her is she's really good. As we always say, if we're playing against a player like Monica, don't give her angles. Make her score over you. She's so good at creating her own angles. How she seals and catches the ball.
Unbelievable.
And then finishes. But that takes two. That takes
for sure
a low post feed, kind of like Connor used to be with Luka. They had a connection that enabled Luka to get 2,500 points and Connor to lead the nation in assist turnover ratio. So it takes both. Because the other thing, Dolph, is if you're posting hard and you're working hard and you're sprinting and you're changing sides of the floor and you don't get it, you stop posting, you stop working. You gotta feed the big people when they run down the floor.
And Monica's always moving. That's why she runs.
But the other thing, like I was starting to say, she makes every layup. But if she pops out to 12 feet, that's like a layup. That's the way Luka was. If he face up on the baseline and shot a 12-footer, it was like a layup. Or if he shot a jump hook from 9 feet or 11 feet, it was like you were shooting it from 4 feet. And she has touch and feel.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck to you if you foul her. She makes every free throw.
But back to Coach's point, though, the way Caitlin is passing the ball this year, I think she just improved in that aspect of her game dramatically. I mean, she's putting it right on the money.
She's dropping dimes, and they run really good stuff. To get Monica the ball. And
look at that staff.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of experience, and they have a lot of continuity.
They do.
That's important, and they recruit, to their culture.
Quality people.
Like everybody on that team, we're very close. Both teams are very close. Staffs, the players, they come to our games, we go to their games. They hang out together and stuff like that. So I think it's good to see because it's not like that everywhere, as you know.
Kate, Gabby, to have upper class people like that.
The freshman, Hannah Stolke.
How good is she going to be?
Oh, she's gotten better and better since the beginning of the year.
She's got her own cheer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she got her own cheer.
I didn't know that. Well, if she stays
go ahead.
She's phenomenal.
It's hilarious. Everybody stands up and goes, Hannah. It's hilarious.
Nice.
We'll have to learn that.
Yeah, come on.
If she runs the court, you're going to get the ball, though.
That's the thing, and they just keep running.
They do. Good luck to the Hawkeye women at Indiana on Thursday, a battle of top 5, top 10 ranked teams. All right, back with more from Coach McCaffrey here at the Edgewater Grill and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency right after this on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford Tough Trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Beautiful day around Iowa City today. Hawkeye basketball, plenty left between now and the end of the season. I bring up the nice weather because Coach Heller and the Hawkeyes will host 27 home baseball games, including multiple Big Ten weekend series this coming spring over at Banks Field. Season tickets and custom mini plans are now on sale. Visit HawkeyeSports.com. HawkeyeSports.com. I see Brody Breck was selected to a preseason All-American team the other day. Hopefully Brody stays healthy, right, Connor? Yeah, he's a special player. Coach McCaffrey, Anthony, Anthony is on Twitter. Fran, can you talk about the rescheduling process, what went into the Northwestern game, rescheduling that last Tuesday, and also how soon would a decision be made about Minnesota given the news that came out today?
Yeah, we've been told that game will be played as scheduled.
Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, obviously things could change between now, but they said, hey, no, we're all good for Sunday. The Northwestern game, the hardest thing about that was our game and the Wisconsin game were canceled. So now you have to reschedule 2 games. You have to look at the rest of the schedule for all the teams involved. And then you try to just do the best job you can in terms of fairness. And, that's what, Brad Taylor did. He's the associate commissioner who's now kind of in charge because Kevin Warren left to go work for the Bears. So it's a similar process. There's a lot of discussion between both institutions, both athletic directors, both head coaches, and the league office, and TV. There's a lot of moving parts. Especially as you get later in the season, you just run out of dates. You just got to play the game.
Yeah, it's a lot more than Chris Collins picking up the phone saying, "Hey, Fran, you want to play Tuesday?"
Yeah, exactly. Because we had a 1-day prep, they had a 2-day prep, and a lot of coaches we losing our minds. You're the reason we didn't play, and I only get a 1-day. You know what? We looked at the schedule as adults and said, okay, but the only place we can put this thing where it makes any sense for everybody is when we played it
Tuesday night.
So let's play it, and let's not talk about it. I feel bad that those kids were sick, and I'm happy they're better.
Bjorn has a follow-up question, Fran, on Riley Mulvey. Coach, the limited minutes that Riley has played, he's held his own. Would you consider playing Riley and Phillip together to allow Phillip to go against a smaller guy and play the 4 spot? Well, you've done that a couple times.
We've done that a couple times. Riley's getting there. Yeah, he's getting better. He's learning. He's figuring things out. I think before long he'll be an effective player for us. But right now, he's got some guys ahead of him, and that's where we're going to go.
That'd be good to get Josh Agunale back there carving out some.
He had a good practice today, so that's good to see.
Great to hear.
Yeah.
I want to give us enough time to finish tonight's show talking about the events off the court this weekend. It was such a great weekend for Hope Lodge. Dance Marathon raised over $1 million. Hope Lodge got a ton of donations in the form of non-perishable food items, gas and grocery gift cards, 13 and 30-gallon garbage bags. I just want to make sure we take our time and thank the Iowa fans. Even if you're not a basketball fan, a lot of people came up and just dropped stuff off. Saturday was wonderful.
It was awesome. I mean, I think more and more people are figuring out what the Hope Lodge is and how fortunate we are to have one in our city in proximity to the hospital. So those folks that are getting cancer treatment and their families, their caregivers, have a place to stay. It takes all the pressure off of I got to get a hotel, I got to get off work. I can't afford to do this. So what happens? People that need treatment don't get it.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford it.
Tragically.
So, it's through the incredible donations to the American Cancer Society, we got a Hope Lodge built. It's a phenomenal facility if you've never seen it. And so we're so thankful that it's here. We're so thankful for the generosity of so many people. It was great that we had a sellout crowd. So we had quite a bit of supplies that were generously donated for the cause right across the parking lot. And then, like you said, Dance Marathon. If you've never been over there to see that and what that entails, it's incredibly impressive. The student body, year in and year out, just donates their time and they hustle. It's not that they just dance for 24 hours. It's a process of raising money, culminating in those students dancing for 24 hours. And if you ever get a chance to go over and see it, you really should. So 1.1 7-4. How awesome is that?
$1,175,000. I'm sure they're over that total now, but $1,174,000. That's terrific. It's one of the top.
So proud of our student body.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, students. Bobby, we've known the Jardine family a long time.
Certainly have, and they were the lead gift there at the Hope Lodge, Russ and Ann Jardine, but so philanthropic with the entire community and University of Iowa and the Cancer Society and what they've done. But also I got a text from Doug Wagner that Margaret was on the iHeartRadio telethon, and they raised $170,000 in those 2 days that they had there. So a lot of good being done here in the Iowa City community in the last few days.
Did Margaret tell you she threw out the tour of Carver Hawkeye plus didn't you have a game in there? Isn't there a game in there?
Yep.
So make sure that your tickets are available for whoever those wonderful people are.
Absolutely. That's what we're supposed to do, right, Dolph?
Yeah, that's right, Coach. We're here to help, no doubt. Hope Lodge, by the way, it's a free home away from home for cancer patients, as Coach pointed out, and their caregivers who are traveling to Iowa City for treatment. You can give to Hope Lodge throughout the year. Just visit cancer.org, cancer.org/Hope Lodge, and you put a lot of smiles on a lot of patients and their families' face. So I appreciate the McCaffrey's involvement in that each and every year at the University of Iowa. Well, guys, good show tonight. Fran, closing thoughts on Purdue? It's not going to be easy, but it never is on the road in the Big Ten.
Never is, especially when you're dealing with a Player of the Year candidate who is so versatile now, and they do a great job getting him the ball. We've got to really work hard. We've got to rotate, and we've got to attack the pressure and move the ball and get good shot opportunities. Can't turn it over. Can't go to Mackey Arena and turn the ball over. But we don't typically do that. We're not a turnover team. We take care of it. And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I'm excited for our guys. The great thing about this league, Dolph, as you know, is every game is another opportunity. That's what it is, and that's how you have to look at it.
Coach, good luck. We'll see you over at Mackey.
Sounds good, Dolph.
Hey,
Appreciate it, Bobby.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks a lot. And again, 5 o'clock for the pregame show on Thursday, 6 o'clock for the tip-off. Purdue sits at atop the standings in the Big Ten. Rutgers is second, and then the Hawkeyes are one of a half dozen teams at 7-5. 30 days until the Big Ten tournament. Boy, there's going to be a lot of great basketball between now and then. Thanks for joining us tonight here at the Edgewater Grill and Bar in the Hyatt Regency. I'm Jerry Dolphin. Good night, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, from Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey, brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.